Hello, everyone. My name is Vincent Valdez, and I help people with faith, fasting, and fitness. Basically, personal growth. And today I want to talk about habits and negative emotions. So, the difference whenever we feel, let's say, a negative emotion, the difference isn't really that somebody who's successful doesn't have those emotions, or somebody who's not successful always feels those emotions, those negative emotions. The difference is in how you react to negative feelings. And I remember whenever I was always reacting to my negative emotions with negative actions. So I'd go to food, or I would go to alcohol, or consuming something that was going to make it even worse. Maybe in the moment, it was going to make me feel better, but later on, it was going to make me feel even worse. And I knew that this was going to happen because I have a history of the next day regretting the decisions I made, not even thinking about the emotion I was feeling and why I went to these negative things. But in the morning, or later that day, I would have this regret of like, I knew I shouldn't have done that. And I would continue in this cycle of trying to alleviate this negative emotion by going to something that was never aligned with who I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. It always was taking me in the opposite direction of that. So I want to be somebody that's healthy. I want to be somebody that's fit. That's who I am. But whenever I would experience these negative emotions, I'm going to things that are in the opposite direction of who I am. And so it's turning me into this person who I don't want to be and who I'm not. So then I started to listen, right? I started to see like, okay, I'm regretting these decisions. I need to stop doing them because this regret is here for a reason, right? This feeling of being unhappy with my decisions is there for a reason. So I need to listen to that and eliminate what's causing the regret. And that's the action. And then I have this awareness now of, okay, when I get this negative emotion, and then I have this habit of going straight into a negative action to try to make me feel better, to try to alleviate this negative feeling. So now, what's changed is maybe I feel this negative emotion and I go to a workout, or I go for a run, or I just sit in it and I just say, okay, I don't need to go to anything to try to alleviate this negative emotion. This is just trying to get me to walk away from who I really am. It's trying to get me to get into things that is not who I am. And like now that I've been doing it long enough, I can see that the difference isn't in our emotions. We all feel the same emotions. The difference is in how we react to those emotions. And that's what's going to get us to where we want to go, reaching goals that we want to achieve. At times you don't feel like doing certain things, but if you have this experience of doing it anyways, or not listening to the emotions and going a different route of like, okay, this is who I am, so these are the actions I produce, that has allowed me to continue towards being who I want to be and becoming more of who I think God wants me to be, that I know God wants me to be. He doesn't want me to be stuck in, you know, going to over consuming food, or just over consuming any type of entertainment, or drinking alcohol. Not that any of those things are bad, but the reasons why I'm going to them are bad. And so it's figuring out, am I going to this thing for the wrong reasons? And, you know, 99 times out of 100, I was. So just having awareness and then understanding this isn't who you are if you're going towards negative actions. If you're reacting to negative emotions with negative actions, it's just going to bring more regret and more negative emotions. And it's just this cycle of your actions bringing you right back into this negative feeling. And so that's another thing that has changed too, is I would have negative emotion. negative action, feel good in the moment, but then right back into negative emotion. And it's just a cycle. Whereas now I can experience a moment of a negative feeling into a positive action, positive feelings, and then like, oh, well, maybe something came up. I have a negative emotion, but then positive action. So it's a different cycle. It's not this down, stay here, a little up in the moment, then back down. Now it's a different cycle. And so it's not always about, feeling good. It's about, regardless of how you feel, what are your actions look like? What do your actions look like? And then over time, you'll start to experience better feelings, being happy with who you are. Not necessarily, you know, and I'm not talking about like a joy emotion or like, I'm just talking about happy with who you are, just like a proud of who you are. Not really an emotion in a sense, because the emotions are going to change, but your actions should remain the same. So that's it. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. And then if you need help with achieving your fitness goals or changing, a lot of your habits, reach out to me. Let's get on a phone call and we can go over, what the next steps would be. Done.